And the winner is Michael Jackson!
I really love this.
Michael Jackson shouldn't still be trending, at least not by how the internet usually works. Online attention moves fast. People are here today and forgotten tomorrow, especially when they're no longer releasing music, doing interviews, or showing up on screens. Michael isn't here anymore to push anything himself, and I say that with full respect and love for him. By the internet's own rules, his name should have slowly faded with time. That's normally how this space works, but that's not what happened.
There was no Christmas, there was no birthdays. It was not a normal childhood, no normal pleasures of childhood. Those were exchanged for hard work, struggle, and pain.
Years later, he's still everywhere. On your feed, in reels, in reaction videos, in playlists you didn't even plan to click. Most people explain this as nostalgia, but nostalgia doesn't work like this. Nostalgia shows up for a moment, then fades. Michael Jackson doesn't fade. He keeps coming back, again and again. New clips, old songs. Different generations reacting like they're discovering something timeless for the first time. So the real question isn't why people still love Michael Jackson. The real question is why the internet itself keeps choosing him. And once you understand the answer, it changes how you see it all.
No, sometime, only sometime. Sometimes I want to sneak into places and not have any hoopla or...
Because Michael Jackson didn't just make music. Without even knowing it, he created the kind of content the modern world is built to reward. And he did it decades before the internet ever existed.
I'd like to thank everyone at Sony Music, especially Mr. Marita, Mickey Schulhoff, Tommy Mottola, Dave Glue, Bruce Swedian.
Let's start with the music itself, because this is where most people underestimate what's really happening. Michael Jackson's songs don't waste time. They don't ask for patience. They don't slowly ease you in. Think about Billie Jean. The bass line hits instantly. No long intro, no build-up, no explanation. Within seconds, your brain already knows what it's listening to. The same thing happens with Smooth Criminal, Beat It, and Thriller. You don't need context. You don't need a chorus to kick in. The song grabs you immediately. That matters far more than people realize. Modern platforms are ruthless. If something doesn't hook you in the first few seconds, you scroll past without thinking. Michael Jackson's music does the opposite. It stops you. Not because it was made for TikTok or Reels, but because it was built to command attention from the very first moment. And then there's the part almost no one talks about. These songs loop perfectly. You can hear a 10-second clip of Billie Jean and still feel unsatisfied. It doesn't feel complete. It pulls you back for another listen. That replay instinct is everything in today's algorithm-driven world. Platforms reward content people rewatch, reuse, and remix. So when millions of users keep looping the same short clip, the system reads that as value and pushes it harder. That's how a song released in the early 80s ends up outperforming brand new tracks in engagement today. This isn't hype or nostalgia, it's mechanics. It's how the system works. But even that doesn't fully explain why Michael Jackson dominates visually as well. Because if this were just about sound, plenty of great artists would still be everywhere, but they're not. Michael Jackson is. And that's where things start to get really interesting. Michael Jackson was built for short-form content long before short-form content existed. Look closely at his movement. Not just how impressive it is, but how instantly readable it is. The moonwalk doesn't need context. You don't need to know the song, the era, or the story behind it. You see it once and your brain locks in immediately. The same goes for the spin, the freeze, the toe stand, the anti-gravity lean. These moments don't need a full performance to work. They work in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, sometimes even less. That's rare. Most modern artists depend on fast camera cuts, heavy lighting, backup dancers, or editing tricks to make moments feel big. Michael didn't need any of that. His body was the effect. His timing, control, and precision did the work on their own. That's why a low-quality clip recorded decades ago can still stop someone mid-scroll on a phone today. It doesn't feel old. It feels impossible. And that's exactly why reaction videos never end. You'll see teenagers watching the Motown 25 performance for the first time, and their reaction is never casual. It's silence, confusion, shock. They're trying to understand how someone could sing live, move that cleanly, and control an entire stage without digital help or modern production tricks.
The girl is dangerous.
It completely breaks their idea of what performers from the past were supposed to look like. And the internet loves moments that break expectations. It loves things that don't fit the story people already believe. Michael Jackson keeps showing up because every clip feels like a glitch in time. something that shouldn't exist the way it does. And when content feels like that, the internet can't stop sharing it. Talent alone doesn't keep someone trending for decades. A lot of talented artists fade once their moment passes. Michael Jackson didn't. And this is where people get uncomfortable being honest. The internet doesn't run on talent alone. It runs on debates, opinions, and questions that never fully end. And Michael Jackson is one of the most debated figures in pop culture.
Imagine being that guy.
I know. He's already such a good dancer.
People still argue about his best era like it's a belief system. Bad versus dangerous is still a real fight. Every performance gets ranked, every outfit gets analyzed, every vocal moment gets replayed again and again. Some people admire him, some criticize him, some feel unsure even talking about him. But the algorithm doesn't care about feelings. It doesn't care if people are praising or arguing. It only cares that people are talking. Michael Jackson creates non-stop conversation without releasing anything new. Most artists disappear when the conversation dies. Michael Jackson never goes quiet, and that's why the internet keeps pushing him forward. And then there's the part nobody really wants to admit. Michael Jackson makes modern pop feel smaller, not worse, smaller. When people watch his live performances, they don't just enjoy them, they instinctively compare. And comparison is friction. Friction creates comments. Comments create reach. You'll see someone say, "No one today could do this live." Someone else pushes back. Another person posts a different clip to prove a point. Then a new reaction video appears. The cycle never stops because the debate feeds itself. And here's why it keeps working. Michael Jackson's performances weren't just concerts. They were events. Everything was intentional. The choreography, the staging, the pacing, the use of silence, the explosion that followed. He understood drama at a level most artists never reach. Every pause meant something. Every move had weight. Nothing was accidental.
Man, the dance moves. Oh!
So when modern audiences see that level of control, it feels unreal. Not because today's artists lack talent, but because the industry no longer demands that level of mastery. Production fills the gaps now. Effects replace discipline. Editing replaces precision. When people notice that difference, they react. And the internet thrives on gaps like this. It thrives on moments that expose contrast between what was and what is. Michael Jackson keeps resurfacing because his work unintentionally challenges the present. Every clip becomes a quiet comparison. Every performance becomes a benchmark. And when a benchmark feels untouchable, the internet can't stop talking about it. Now add the final layer that keeps everything alive, the fans. Michael Jackson doesn't need marketing anymore because his fans are the marketing. They clip his performances, clean up old footage, slow it down, and analyze every detail. The estate releases remastered videos, restored concerts, and anniversary editions, and fans take it from there. One clip turns into dozens of edits, reactions, and breakdowns. TikTok becomes the place where new fans discover him through a few seconds of video. YouTube becomes the archive, filled with full performances and rare moments. Reddit becomes the debate space, where eras, vocals, and performances are argued endlessly. Gen Z discovers Michael Jackson like he's brand new. Millennials relive what they grew up with. Older fans protect the history and correct the story. 3 generations are active at the same time, feeding the same system. That almost never happens. Most artists fade as time passes. Michael Jackson doesn't. His presence keeps refreshing itself. This isn't nostalgia, it's a system that keeps running, and that's why he never disappears from the feed. So when people ask, is Michael Jackson still worth the hype? They're asking the wrong question. The real question is why his work still fits perfectly into today's internet. In a world where songs blow up for a week and then disappear, Michael Jackson keeps coming back. Not because people are forcing it, but because his art was made in a way that still works now. His songs grab you fast. His moves are easy to understand. His performances feel intense and mysterious. All the things the internet rewards today were already built into his work. Viral culture didn't bring Michael Jackson back. It exposed him. Long before TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram, he knew how to stop people, hold their attention, and make them want more. That's why his music loops so well. That's why his clips go viral. That's why people still argue, react, and share his performances. He's not just surviving on the internet, he's not being carried by nostalgia. The internet is responding to him because his work still hits, and that's the uncomfortable truth. Michael Jackson isn't trying to keep up with the internet. His work still runs by the same rules the internet follows today. He's not surviving the internet, he's still running it.